JBNN will keep you informed. I'm Michelle Jones. Hi guys, before we get into the news, please remember to like, subscribe, leave a comment, and to share the news with someone today. Now on to the news. 30 injured in Port Moresby accident. Over 30 people, including several students who were passengers on a yellow Toyota coaster that crashed along the Port Moresby Road this morning, are being treated for injuries, including broken limbs, at the Kingston Public Hospital. Some of the injured were transported to the University Hospital of the West Indies. According to a police report, about 7 a.m., the Toyota coaster was traveling along the roadway from Portmore to Kingston when, upon reaching the vicinity of the wharf, the vehicle went over the guardrail and crashed. Superintendent Winchester Watson, in charge of the Traffic Enforcement Branch at the Public Safety and Traffic Enforcement Branch, said the cause of the crash is under investigation. Meanwhile, the police are appealing to members of the public who may have left their personal belongings at the crash scene to retrieve them from the process office at the Public Safety and Traffic Enforcement Branch, PSTAB. 2 policemen and prisoners injured in St. Anne crash. 2 police officers and 2 prisoners were injured in a motor vehicle crash early Wednesday morning in St. Anne. Reports indicate that about 8:30 a.m., a service vehicle assigned to the Hanover Police Division was en route to Kingston with 2 prisoners aboard. When on reaching a section of the Runaway Bay Main Road, the driver lost control of the vehicle on the wet surface. The service vehicle crashed into a wall, coming to a halt beside a bus stop. The vehicle was extensively damaged. The injured policemen and prisoners were assisted to the St. Anne's Bay Regional Hospital, where they were treated for their injuries. They were later released. JUTC driver who was stabbed, no stable condition. The Jamaica Urban Transit Company, JUTC driver, who was stabbed this morning after he reportedly refused to let off a passenger at a non-designated point, is in stable condition. Corporate Communications Manager Kimberly Gardner provided the update in a news release Thursday afternoon. "We are very relieved that our colleague is in stable condition," Gardner said, noting ongoing challenges faced by the company impacting the level of service employees are able to provide while executing their daily duties. Meanwhile, the company advised that services have resumed on the Portmore to downtown route following a brief disruption due to the incident. Reports are that a male driver, while en route via Marcus Garvey Drive to downtown, denied the request of passengers to stop in a non-designated area. This resulted in a passenger wounding him in the left arm upon exiting, JUTC said. The driver was then taken to hospital for treatment. The matter is also being investigated by the police. The JUTC said the safety and well-being of employees and passengers remains a top priority and reaffirmed the company's commitment to the continued safety of drivers and passengers alike. Jolan Silvera to return to court May 2 for a bail hearing. The bail application hearing for murder accused Jolan Silvera has been postponed until May 2nd. The former Member of Parliament was again remanded when he appeared in the gun court in downtown Kingston on Thursday. This is Silvera's 3rd court appearance since he was charged with his wife's murder on January 16. Melissa Silvera was initially reported to have died from natural causes in November last year, but the matter was upgraded to a murder investigation after an autopsy revealed bullet fragments inside her body. Silvera was later charged with her murder. He was also slapped with the additional charge of using a firearm to commit a felony. Deportee charged with robbery. A bus conductor of Ports in Manchester has been charged with robbery with violence after he allegedly stole a woman's cell phone on Wednesday. Charges Claymore Sinclair, otherwise called Nachilus, and deportee. According to a police report, the complainant was walking along the roadway about 8:05 a.m. when Sinclair approached her and grabbed her left arm. The complainant reportedly called for help and was wrestling with Sinclair when she was hit in the chest. Sinclair allegedly took her cell phone before escaping in the area. Citizens then alerted a nearby police unit, and the 37-year-old was swiftly apprehended and identified by the complainant, the police said. Woman charged with murder of Daniel Rowe remanded until May 16. Kaoli Satchel, the woman charged with the abduction and murder of 8-year-old Daniel Rowe, has been remanded in custody until May 16 for a plea and case management hearing. When the matter was called up in the Home Circuit Court on Thursday morning, the prosecution told the court that it will be in a position to proceed to trial at the next hearing. Daniel was abducted from the Brighton Primary School in Portmore, St. Catherine, on June 8 last year. She was later found wandering in the corporate area with a wound to her throat. Daniel died days later while being treated at hospital. Soldier charge after allegedly shooting at woman. A soldier who allegedly shot at a woman while officers visited his home on inquiries into a missing persons report has been charged following a ruling from the Director of Public Prosecutions in relation to the Monday, July 31, 2023 incident. The accused has been identified as 32-year-old Ron Green of Greentown District in Trelawney. Green has been charged with shooting with intent, using a firearm to commit a felony, and assault occasioning actual bodily harm. Reports are that a woman, along with a police team, went to Green's home on inquiries into a missing persons report. At the lawman's request, Green exited his house with his licensed firearm in hand. According to the lawman, on seeing the woman, Green rushed towards her shouting, after which he swung a piece of board at her, which caught a child. The police alleged that Green then pointed the gun at the woman and discharged one round. He was taken into custody and is subsequently charged. Cullimore and contract killer in constant communication, head of wife's murder, phone data shows. Phone data evidence showed that there was continuous communication between Barbados-born businessman Omar Bess Cullimore and the alleged contract killer in the days leading up to his wife's murder. The data also showed a pattern where Cullimore would often call his wife, Simone Campbell Cullimore, before calling or attempting to make contact with the alleged contract killer, defendant Michael Quayboss Adams, often in the space of a minute. Of note, the calls were attempted calls between the men, which started on December 29, 2017, started in the morning and continued into the night. The murder, however, occurred on January 2, but the trial had heard previously from one of the shooters, Wade Blackwood, that a first attempt was made on the wife's life before they succeeded. According to Blackwood, who previously pleaded guilty to the murder and is currently serving a life sentence, he called off the attempt after he saw Campbell Cullimore and had an attack of conscience. I was imagining say for my mother or sister, he had testified. Similarly, the data also revealed that the contract killer made several calls to his co-defendants and alleged accomplices following the calls from Cullimore in the days leading up to the murder. The 32-year-old woman was shot 19 times at the gate of her Stanley Terrace, St. Andrew apartment on January 2, 2018. Taxi driver Winston Corey Walters, 36, who was transporting her at the time, was also killed in the attack. He sustained 5 shots, including a fatal wound to his head. Cullimore was accused of orchestrating a murder. He is currently on trial on 2 counts of murder in the Home Circuit Court, along with his alleged accomplices, Adams, Dwayne Pink, and Shaquille Edwards. A forensic expert witness would analyze the phone and the cell site data which he received from the island's 2 main service providers during his evidence, shared the data, which showed a consistent pattern of communication between Cullimore and the alleged contract killer, and among the alleged contract killer and his alleged accomplices. The Deputy Superintendent of Police, who is attached to the Constabulary Forces, Communication, Forensics and Cybercrime Division as a forensic data analyst, shared that on December 29, 2017, the calls or attempted call between Cullimore and Adams started at 11:42, a minute after Cullimore called or attempted to call his wife. From the phone evidence presented, Cullimore made or attempted several calls to his wife at different times in the afternoon, following which he made or attempted several calls to Adams, who then placed several calls to either Pink or Edwards. There were also several instances in which Adams would attempt or make a call to Cullimore. Most of the calls, however, lasted only milliseconds. The witness, when asked to explain this, said the data suggests that Adams would often ring Cullimore's phone for him to return the call. The expert witness also testified that Cullimore would often use his local number to call his wife and use both his local and international numbers to communicate with Adams. A similar pattern of communication was also observed among the men on December 30. However, while the calls on December 29 went up to 9:56 p.m., the calls on December 30 started much earlier at 7:08 p.m. between Cullimore and Adams and ended at 11:33 p.m., 2 minutes after Cullimore attempted to make contact with his wife. A former police officer who had extracted call record information from 2 of Cullimore's cell phones testified earlier that Cullimore In one of the voice messages sent to a man with whom he had been in constant communication in the days leading up to his wife's murder, was heard urging the person to hurry up and to do it this morning. JBN will keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.